saying the entire time, and
Oh, yeah, because I was like, I can't hear a word you're saying. And then I'm in the new studio, I guess studio, um, you
mhm.
know, and I was like, I can't hear you. And then I realized that the microphone was refeeding in the audio because I kind of heard some audio coming from behind me. And I was like, oh, maybe that's Jeremy, but is whatever, I guess. All right. And we're back for another exciting episode
Yeah.
of the ongoing conversation. But yeah, so it was kind of crazy yesterday. I was talking to a lot of different people in restaurants, and I guess across the board, a lot of people are having a hard time these days. But then you have those popular restaurants that like always have customers. So I don't even know what would be the major difference besides just like hype. You know what I mean when it
Maybe there's
comes to
too
hype.
many restaurants, not enough customers.
That's true too. I mean, a lot of people are now eating at home. People are, struggling with the economy, thanks to Bidenomics.
What? Why are we going directly into
Uh,
politics here?
I got you. It's politics time.
Oh
Not
God, that's a very triggering word to me,
what
honestly.
the word Bidenomics or the
Yeah.
word politics.
No, Bidenomics.
I don't even know what it is, but it's very catchy.
It's
Because I don't.
basically blaming. It's basically a term to blame the entire economy status on Biden's economic policies. That's what it
Oh,
is.
I thought it was a positive thing.
No, it's
When
a negative thing.
mm. What
You
about
you only hear it from uh like Republicans or left activists who, or sorry, not left, right, activists who basically are trying to put all the blame onto Biden.
Biden for the bad economic state that we're in?
Yeah, like all the the high inflation rate, the interest rates out of control, pricing for groceries and the housing markets, all of it.
I love how every time there's a debate, they always talk about the cost of milk and eggs. Like it,
It's like yeah, that's also a weird thing because I mean they talk about it as if they themselves know the cost of eggs and milk.
you mean the politicians or just people in
Yeah,
general?
the politicians. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't buy that. Our wives buy that. We don't buy the milk and eggs. I mean, it's pretty expensive. I mean, I don't even think I drink milk anymore just because it's so expensive.
What?
I mean, I don't. I mean, I
Milk is
eat
not that
eggs though.
expensive. Is
I thought.
milk price of milk is going down.
Well, your milk is from Nevada. Our milk is from Hawaii. It's a little bit more expensive than your milk.
Well, that's just
Like,
because Hawaii has to ship it. So yeah, everything's going to be more expensive in Hawaii.
yeah, I mean, milk, gas, all of it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, because you're in Hawaii, where you're in the middle of an island, or you're in the middle of the
No,
ocean on an
the the
island.
the cost of paradise. Is that what you're telling me?
The cost of paradise, yes.
Milk in Hawaii.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Hawaii doesn't count. They're an
For
outlier
for everything.
for
Is that
everything.
almost everything?
Yeah.
Actually, that's not too bad. 7.53 a gallon. What is it? What is milk in Vegas then? Cost of milk.
What is the
Cost of
price of
milk.
milk?
Yeah. Oh, 481. Oh no, it's a bottle of milk. Dude, your
Yeah,
gallon is like 341.
maybe at Costco. Are you looking at Costco prices?
No, I'm just looking at the general generative AI of Google.
Well,
Like
that's
giving
not entirely right because it's around 380 to 4. Like it varies from like about 380 to about 410 a gallon.
what? That's crazy. Milk here is way like almost 2 times higher than your milk.
Yeah, because you're on an island. I'm not arguing that Hawaii prices are astronomically high.
No, but I mean, well, I guess I didn't know the difference until you compare it to something. Because for me, it's like, okay, everyday milk, you put it in your cart, you buy it, and you're like, okay, this is milk. But comparing it to your cost of milk, that's ridiculous.
Well, my gallon of milk is about $6.50.
How come you're essentially you said it was $4 per gallon, but the gallon you bought was
No. Sorry, for gas, it's about 380 to about 410 a gallon for gas. But for milk, I pay about 6.50 for a gallon of milk.
I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, our gas prices aren't too high, but I drive an electric vehicle, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess the cost of electricity is probably something. I should install solar panels actually, because then that would reduce my energy cost. I
Yeah,
guess
but then
everyone's
but then you have to spend like a lot, like
thousands.
thousands of dollars just to install it and hook it up
Yeah.
to Hiko.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any like tax credits left for installing not EV, but installing
Solar?
yeah, solar.
I don't know. Does the government still offer tax rebates or
I don't
solar
even know.
rebates?
A lot of our solar companies kind of went out of business already. Like they ran out of houses to install solar on. I'm
Yeah,
surprised that
there's only
people
so
just don't.
many.
Yeah, I'm surprised that people just don't go out and be like, "Hey, that guy doesn't have solar. Sell that guy," which should be me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess we can complain about prices all day, but the real fact of the matter is, um, I was thinking we should talk about what it's like to live in our relative areas, because when I was looking at the stats, now that a lot of people from LA and Washington are kind of um gravitating toward the like our community, I think it would be neat to tell people what it's like living either in Vegas. I mean, because you're a resident of Vegas, and then living in Hawaii. Aside from all the cost of living, everything's so super expensive. But um, yeah, what's it like living in Vegas?
The same as like living in Hawaii.
No, it's
Just
not.
just living.
It's just living. It's 50% cheaper when you're living in Vegas.
Some
But
things.
that's what
Some
they're
things are
saying.
cheaper.
A lot of people are leaving the islands because it's just too expensive to live here, especially people growing up. People who I think have lived here long enough
Mm-hmm.
don't feel it as much. Like, and especially if they're more so retired, right? They're kind of living here, not worried about the cost of inflation, the cost of a different thing. And then I think you adapt your lifestyle. I think once your lifestyle is adapted in a certain way, as long as you're not overspending like every week, month to month, and week to week, you're kind of, you know, living here, buying $5 McDonald's meals, which I really enjoy because there's so much variety of food for those $5 McDonald's meals. Um, and I think for me, having an electric vehicle really reduced a lot of the gas costs that I used to have before.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I feel like as long as you live a certain lifestyle, living in Hawaii isn't too bad.
Yeah. People are gonna have people have different lifestyles, so yeah, everyone's gonna have different experiences.
Yeah. But I mean, I wonder where the complaints come from then if, like, I guess you just have to adjust your lifestyle if you're kind of like not making it when you're, um,
Well, I think part of it comes from people comparing today's prices to how prices were like 10 years ago, for example.
is that before Trump's term?
Oh, sorry. I guess during Trump's term. I think. Well, I know. Okay, if you're going the political route, then yeah, people compare the prices to today to how the prices were under Trump's presidency, right? And that was
Yeah.
like from 2016 to 2020. So, how long ago was that? Was that
2016, we haven't hit a 10-year mark yet. That
okay?
would be
So
about 8
8
years.
years ago was when President Trump went into office, came into office. Yeah, so they're just I mean, a lot of if you're going the political route, a lot of people are comparing those two time periods of the economy, and that's like I feel like that's where I see a lot of people complaining,
Yeah.
because all the compare things like, oh, the gas prices were lower, or prices of milk and eggs were
Eggs. Yeah.
cheaper, and everything was just in general just cheaper. But I mean, that's not really a fair comparison.
I guess so. And I guess for me, I still try
It's
to
not a
understand.
true comparison.
Well, and that's what I think is hard for me. I had a conversation with a friend the other day, and they were saying that everything that kind of happened during Trump's presidency, was a trickle effect to kind of what we're living now, right? Like whatever the president did 4 years ago is kind of like the current state that we're in now, and whatever Biden and Harris are doing in this 4 years is going to be leading into Trump's presidency. Like none of these effects are immediate, right? As I was talking to my friend, and that's why I think I still don't understand it. Like it's like, you know, of course, when things like prices go up, you want someone to blame, and I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
well, who do we blame? Because obviously, I can't blame myself. I'm doing the same thing. Um, so I find it very peculiar to know like what's happening 4 years ago or 8 years ago, and then what's happening now. That was like the cause and effect of it all. And I don't
Well, the
know.
matter of fact is we had a worldwide pandemic.
And we're still feeling the effects of that pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so weird because like even with a lot of that, like the state of the race in terms of the the how close the vote is just so always so dynamic. Like just 3 months ago when Biden was up against Trump, it's like okay, everybody was voting for Trump, right? Like 8 points up, 10 points up, whatever. Then of course there's that big switch, and these switches happen so quickly in the race for the presidency that it's like, why does it take so long in 4 years for certain things to happen? Like I mean, obviously because we have a political system that requires a lot of like approvals and votings and double checks and things like that, and people like the House of Representatives, all that good stuff. But it's so weird how quickly they could just switch out a candidate, like it's like, oh, I'm out, this person's in, and then it swings the vote like
Well, I
significantly.
don't know. I don't know if it's like that sudden. Like, I mean, it's still what, 2 to 4 years, between each, different
Term.
elections.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Term and election,
Depending
yes.
determining elections, yeah.
But I feel like the only thing that matters is the last 4 to 6 months.
Yeah, because that's how people are voting, is like with their wallets and what they remember.
Yeah, voting with their wallets. I like that phrase because I feel like I hear that a lot. Everyone's going to be voting with their wallets. And that's where, when I talk to people, like even yesterday, I met with this sandwich owner and he was talking about how, like, oh, yeah, I'm voting for Trump. And I was like, why is it? Oh, because